Hi, welcome to Inner Power Training. Once again, I want to touch on a topic that is metaphysically interesting to me. Maybe it will be to you too. It's all about your perception. You know, all the great mystics that I've studied, I'm talking about Gurdjieff, Mary Baker Eddy, Neville Goddard, Ernest Holmes, um, U.S. Anderson was one of the books I read way back when. Three Magic Words. Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, Outwitting the Devil. All of these mystics had discovered that they have a higher self, a higher mind that they can connect with. And you do too. We all do. We're all multidimensional beings. And we have our perception of how we're functioning in the world. And every one of us is uniquely different because I see things one way, you see things another way. We know, no two people, we agree on a lot of things, but no two people see things exactly the same way because we're all being conditioned differently. We come from different backgrounds, different programmings. But the important thing is to find a way to perceive what's happening to you in a way that it makes you happy and gives you peace. Equanimity is very, very, very important because if you're not in balance, if you're not feeling inner peace, if you feel disconnected from your higher self, and you don't know where to go to find answers, sometimes it causes great anxiety. I just had a conversation with someone who was telling me how globally right now, young people, even at the age of 8, 9 years old, are suffering from terrible anxiety and depression. If you keep telling kids, oh, you may not have a planet to live on by the time you grow up because of global warming, that's going to depress them if they're impressionable. I mean, people absorb things like a sponge. You go to school, the teacher tells you something, you believe it until you begin to question, is this really true? People who think outside the box begin to question everything, and they can't be as fooled or programmed or brainwashed as people who don't question. So now the reason I've always questioned is because I'm a curious person and I want to know why. Why do we live the way we live? Why do we make these choices that we make? And then when I saw those three UFOs up close, those saucers, and I realized this was like nothing I had ever heard about on planet Earth. Now, they could have been reverse engineered. I met a woman whose husband was with Lockheed Martin. I think he was the CEO. Um, and she told me that we had been reverse engineering UFOs since the 50s. So I don't know what I saw, but they were pretty awesome. And they motivated me to become a stewardess in the 60s so I could get some answers and interview people. And you know what else I think those now that I've been reading books on contactees and experiences that people have had, um, they say that many of us who have either seen UFOs or had an abduction experience, John Mack from Harvard University interviewed tons of people that had that happen. I mean, he was a believer. Someday I'll tell you about this experience I had that now that I've listened to other people, I realize I could have been part of the hybrid program from something that happened to me. I won't get into it right now, but it was a pretty intense experience that I had way back in my early 20s in San Francisco when I was living alone. But I'll talk about that another time. Today, I want to talk about thinking outside the box. Once you begin to understand that your perception is your filter, it's how you view the world. You can be an optimistic person or a pessimistic person. You can be naturally looking for the solution or always seeing the problem. It just depends on how your mind works. And if it's really negative and causing you anxiety and stress, you probably need to reprogram yourself because that's going to make you sick. It's a known fact that negative emotions create stress in the body, which contribute to all the illnesses that you can manifest. So why not get to the root cause of the problem and reprogram your mind and stop projecting your negative thoughts onto other people? Realize that if you can learn how to go within and create within your own consciousness the way you want to see things, your perception, you can actually transform people that you interact with in your life. They'll treat you differently. You'll have better experiences, and you will be able to be in the driver's seat. What's better than that? It gives you sovereignty. It gives you inner power. You need to learn how to go within. And, even that experience I just talked about when I was in my 20s, and I think I was part of the hybrid program. It was pretty scary in many ways, but it didn't like knock me out. As a crew member, I traveled the world for 35 years. Things happen on airplanes. It's a given. Things happen in foreign countries. That's a given. And it's all in how you respond to it. You can either flip out and never go to work again, or you deal with it. I remember one night I was in Guatemala City sleeping, and there was this huge explosion. I mean, it was huge. It woke me up from a sound sleep. Years later, I was at this little event where they were, in my hometown, they were selling Guatemalan, artifacts, little things that they made there. And I was talking to a man, an American, about when I heard this explode. He said, "Oh, that was the night they blew up the embassy." And I never realized it. It was an event that took place. And I remember, though, my flying partner took a whole bunch of time off because it freaked her out so badly. She, reacted that way. But you can actually have experiences, and it's up to you how you react. You can let them throw you off base, disturb you, or you can say to yourself, I'm living in a waking dream. And because it's a dream, just like when I have a dream at night, if it looks like it's a nightmare, I can wake myself up and change the dream, because you are the director and the actor, and you produced it. You were in that place at that time for whatever reason. Your higher self always knows what's coming down the road. All you need to do is get dressed and show up. I hope that helps. If you really want a session with me, go to my website, rebeccatripp.com, get in touch with me. There's a link below. I love to help people wake up, snap out of it, get to the next level. I've been doing it for years. I started teaching in 2004. My book, Secrets of a Metaphysical Flight Attendant, is out there. And I'm working on a new one about manifesting, which should be done within a month. And hopefully it'll be on Amazon. Like I say, it's all about manifesting health, wealth, and happiness.